Hi friends, I am still in Colorado resting at the ranch, but I'm still answering the questions that you wrote on your coloring bulletins. This week, all the questions are about the Holy Spirit, which makes sense because the Holy Spirit is confusing. The next question is, what is the Holy Spirit supposed to look like? That's a great question. The answer is nothing. The Holy Spirit doesn't really look like anything. We can't see the Holy Spirit with our eyes because the Holy Spirit is spiritual. We know the Holy Spirit. We feel the Holy Spirit in our hearts and in our minds. It's sort of like saying, what does love look like? Well, you can't just pick up a blob of love and say, hey, I love you. You can see it, right? You see that somebody loves you when they hug you, or they take care of you, or they share with you, or they listen to you, but you can't see the love. Holy Spirit is a lot like that. There's nothing we can really see, but we can feel and experience the presence of the Holy Spirit. Now, you asked, what does the Holy Spirit look like? And the answer is, doesn't look like anything, but people throughout history have tried to figure this out. It's hard to think about something when we don't have a picture for it. So we've come up with a lot of symbols for the Holy Spirit, things that help us picture or understand the Holy Spirit that aren't exactly the Holy Spirit, but they help people in our minds, they help us picture it. So one of those pictures is a dove, a bird that flies down and lands on us. They're gentle, they're soft. Another picture of the Holy Spirit is fire. It makes us warm. It helps us cook food. It's big and bright. It's unpredictable. We can't control it. It's a little bit mysterious. That's what the Holy Spirit is like. Another image we use for the Holy Spirit is breath or wind. We can feel it if somebody breathes on us or if the wind is blowing. We can feel it. We can see the leaves move in the trees. We can feel our breath in our lungs, but we can't actually see it. It's a little bit invisible, mysterious. We breathe in, we breathe out. It helps us feel calm, but we can't really see our breath. We like to say that the Holy Spirit's color is red when we want to make a symbol of the Holy Spirit or look or talk about the Holy Spirit in church. We use red fabric and red clothes and things like that. So does the Holy Spirit look like a dove or a fire or a breath or some wind or a red ribbon? Not exactly, but it helps us picture and think about the Holy Spirit when we look at these things. You can kind of think about the Holy Spirit like love. If I love somebody, I can't pick the love out of my brain and point to it and say, look, it's a glob of love. Love doesn't really look like anything. You can't touch it or see it, but that love is real. If somebody said, you don't really love that person, you would know they were lying. The love is in you. You feel it, you know it's real, you know it's true. You can show that love in the things you do and say, but that love itself is spiritual. It's not something you could touch or see. So that's kind of like the Holy Spirit. The next question is, why is it called the Holy Spirit? Another great question. Holy means set apart or special in a way that is connected to God. You could say that a place is holy if it's a special place set apart to help people connect to God. The Holy Spirit is holy because the Holy Spirit is part of God. The Holy Spirit is part of the Trinity. When we say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit is holy, special, set apart, not just something people made up, not just a random thing in the world, but part of God. And we say spirit because unlike Jesus, who came and was a person, the Holy Spirit has always been spiritual, invisible, living inside of us, moving in the world, connecting us to God, but not in a way that we could see or touch. So holy, special, set apart, connected to God, part of God, and spirit, something spiritual that lives inside of us, in our minds, and in our hearts. Another question I got about the Holy Spirit is the Holy Spirit ever mad? And that's a really good question. And to answer it, I want you to picture someone who you really care about, someone who's really special to you. Maybe it's somebody in your family or one of your friends. Now, imagine that that person is about to make a really bad choice, something that you know will hurt them. They're going to do something that you know is bad for them. And you say, I think you should make a different choice because I care about you and I don't want bad things to happen. And that person doesn't listen to you and they go ahead and they make that bad choice. When you see somebody who you care about making a bad choice, you might feel mad. But you're not always mad at them because you care about them and you love them a lot. You don't want to hurt them or make things worse. But you're so frustrated. You want to say, I love you. I care about you. Why won't you take my advice? Why are you doing bad things? I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to do things that are unhealthy. I care about you. You might feel mad, but you might also call that sad or disappointed. Your feelings might be hurt. You might be frustrated. You might even just feel confused. Why would they do that? I think that's how the Holy Spirit feels when we hurt ourselves and other people. Because the Holy Spirit loves every single one of us and wants us to be happy and healthy and safe. So when we make a choice that's not happy, healthy, or safe, I think the Holy Spirit is sad about that and hurt, maybe even a little mad, but not mad at us. The Holy Spirit doesn't want to hurt us or punish us or make things worse. The Holy Spirit just wants to say, I love you. I want you to be happy and healthy and safe. And anything that makes that not possible, whether it's your own choices or other people, that hurts my heart. And the last question I got about the Holy Spirit is, does the Holy Spirit know everything? And the answer to that, I believe, is yes. The Holy Spirit is God. The Holy Spirit is part of the Trinity that is God, and God knows everything. The Holy Spirit is everywhere, and the Holy Spirit knows everything. The Holy Spirit was with God when God created the universe, and the Holy Spirit was with us when we went through every single thing that we went through. The cool thing about that is that it means the Holy Spirit knows everything about us. If you ever feel like nobody understands you or like you have feelings or thoughts that you just can't get out or share with other people, the Holy Spirit is right there. The Holy Spirit knows how you feel, what you've been through, when you're hurting or when you're scared. If you have something that nobody else remembers or nobody else understands, the Holy Spirit is there with you in those moments. If you pray, you don't even have to pray out loud. You can just pray in your head, and the Holy Spirit is there with you inside of you. So yes, the Holy Spirit knows everything, is everywhere, is with everybody, and really knows everything about you, deeply and completely. Everything you've been through, all the times that you felt like you were alone or that nobody understood you, the Holy Spirit was right there, and the Holy Spirit understands and knows you completely, which I think is pretty cool.